Sync 366. This video series is intended to provide actionable items that you can do to help align yourself to be more congruent within. And since doing this video series, I've become acutely aware of how many hoodies I own. I don't think I ever knew until I see myself in the video how many hoodies I own and actually wear. Um, Today's video is about emotional reset. Another way of understanding emotional reset is about emotional regulation. If you can't regulate yourself emotionally, meaning you have emotional outbursts, you get angry, or what another person said the other day was vomit on other people and you just spew your stuff. I had a girlfriend a couple months ago saying that she spewed all over me and she apologized for throwing on me. Now, I didn't perceive her as doing that, and I'm pretty perceptive. And I would have said if that was happening, I would have definitely adjusted and changed the situation. That wasn't my experience of it, but it is a thing that people do, and they do that because they haven't learned and practiced and set some really strict boundaries for themselves on how to behave. Now, there is a right behavior that is in alignment with their natural laws of one and oneness, which is what I practice. But I even wrote these down because I didn't want to forget one of these things. So, to emotionally regulate, you need to, number one, know that absolutely nobody, not one other person in this entire world, not your children, not your partner, not your family, nobody is responsible for how you feel. Now, even if you've been traumatized and you had traumas in your childhood and you wanted your parent to be a better parent, you can want that and you can think about those things, but nobody is ultimately responsible for your feelings and healing and feeling your feelings but you. Nobody can cause you to feel a particular way. If you are triggered by something somebody does, that means you're triggered. That means that that's you. So you are responsible 100% for all your feelings. So you can't blame, you can't say, "Hey, you made me feel this way." No, something you did made me feel this. I am responsible for my feelings. Um, you can't heal something that you are not responsible for. And nobody is responsible for honoring and respecting and adhering to your feelings like you are. So the first thing is that you must take full responsibility for your feelings, all of them. I feel like this or that. Okay, I feel that way. I feel amazing. I feel happy. Those are my responsibilities, my feelings, my responsibilities. Okay. The other thing is, before you have an emotional outburst, you know, you want to avoid emotional outbursts for many reasons. But the biggest one is that it's destructive and it creates greater discord. It creates a place of unsafe for others. And you want to be a safe place for yourself and for others to be themselves. And when we're not emotionally regulating for ourselves, and I would say we have a society full of people who have a very difficult time emotionally regulating. And I'm not going to blame anybody for that, but I will say one of the causes of that is that we don't have anybody teaching anybody how to, we have very few, let me say that. We have very few people teaching people how to actually feel their feelings and to shift them. But nobody could do it if you're not taking responsibility for your feelings. So before you have an emotional outburst, give yourself a timeout. Take yourself away from that situation, which is causing you to have a memory, a flashback, a a a period of or situation that is potentially detrimental to not only your emotional, physical, and spiritual growth, but also those of people around you. So you definitely want to take yourself out. Take yourself out of the situation, go for a walk, take a breath, take 10 minutes, make sure you're breathing. And oh, by the way, did you know you can't be angry and breathing at the same time? It's impossible. So try that next time you're mad. You can't be angry and consciously breathing at the same time. So breathing and removing yourself from a situation so you can begin to get in touch with, what am I feeling? Why am I so upset? Why am I so angry? And then you need to take that on board, that you need to serve those emotions first, not somebody else. Nobody else is responsible for your feelings. Remember that. And then ultimately, emotional resets require greater awareness. When you are around people who have these destructive emotional behaviors, it's because there is a lack of awareness. Now, people who are unaware usually don't think they're unaware. Um, so it's, if you're on the receiving end, it becomes your responsibility for your own emotional and spiritual and physical safety to set up boundaries for people who are unable to address this. Now, there are people that do emotional outbursts in different ways. Some people vomit on others. Other people have another way of doing it, which is just as toxic, which is the silent treatment. That is a toxic behavior that punishes others. So, your responsibility, if you're on the receiving end, is to bring awareness to that behavior and to set some clear boundaries for yourself. Now, that's not always easy, but when you have awareness that those behaviors do not serve the relationship, somebody has to honor themselves in the relationship for that emotional maturity to set in. Now, emotional regulation is um, everybody's responsibility when it comes to creating a safe place. When people are emotionally unstable, and it happens, look, we all get upset. We all have ways in which we process that could be healthier. But when we're talking about being aligned and being in sync, it requires that we have emotional stability, and it requires that we raise our level of awareness so we can stay stable. So we must become aware of how that occurs for us. If you are interested, I have in my energy recalibration membership, I have a whole process that I give for free, part of the membership actually, how to address your triggers. Now, emotional regulation is usually because there has been a lot of stuffing, a lot of repression, a lot of constriction, restriction, whatever word you want to put on it. But emotions require attention. That's it. They need to be felt. And it's our job and responsibility to becoming aware so we can heal ourselves and become congruent. You know, just because you're in sync, just because you're aligned, you're not going to be numb, or else you can't be in service to community. You must be aware of what's happening in your inner world, because your inner world creates your outer world. It's not the other way around. I know everybody's been taught through this law of attraction and this and that, that the outside, we just think it and it happens. It doesn't work like that, folks. The outside world does not create the inside world. The inside world creates the outer world. So, I am Kiana Sage, and cheers to being in sync. And if you are interested, reach out. If you have a question or want a topic for the next 366 days, actually, it's 350 days or something like that. If I did my quick math for you all. All right, cheers. Have a great day. Bye.